So, y'all, you know it is a Bible study time. When I tell you, y'all don't get it. I love the book of Joshua. I don't see how people don't read the Bible. It just baffles me. But let me get into it. So, I have read or listened to this morning before my flight was Joshua like 6 through 10. And honey, when I tell you God was showing out for his people. So Joshua, of course, it starts off in 6 where they was going after Jericho. If you don't know about Jericho and you call yourself a Christian, that's a problem. Even pastors talk about the walls of Jericho, so get with it. So it all starts, okay. They literally walked around Jericho 6 times. And on the seventh time, they did this cry out, and the walls fell. Like, they didn't test the walls, they didn't have no bulldozers, they didn't blow nothing up. They literally sent out a battle cry with their mouths, the camp of Israel, and the walls fell. The main thing about that is Josh kept God commandments. Like, baby, when I tell you God was the ultimate strategist in this, he had the Israelites walk around this camp 6 times in silence. And I know y'all don't know what that means. Y'all probably thinking one or two. No, no, a multitude. Y'all think Beyonce's and everybody is something. Oh, no, 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 no. He had these people walk around this camp 6 days in a row in silence. And then on the seventh day, they walked around 7 times. The first 6 was in silence. And then that last one on number 7, when they let out that battle cry, the walls came down. The walls came down. And now let me tell you something about this. Some of y'all have something going on in your lives. And sometimes we quick to tell everybody what's going on. We quick to ask people for advice. Sometimes you have to work in silence. Sometimes you have to walk around that thing. Sometimes you have to meditate on that thing. Sometimes you have to just listen to God. But baby, when them walls come down and God uses that as your bridge into what he had for you, the things that was trying to keep you out will be the very thing that God is going to use to get you in. A whole new testimony. And in the midst of them walking around the rock, so after they whooped on, Jericho, and they conquered the city, they demolished it. It was burned to pieces. Like, nothing, nobody, he said, anybody who even think about building this city back up will be cursed. So I'm sure, I pray to God nobody mess with this city. But in the midst of that, after the people of God seen God do all this, you got one. You always got to have one. You got one. After the victory of this one city, because they started just going ham on everybody, it was a delay. It was a delay because somebody did something wrong. So they thought they was just gonna go do the same thing to another king, and baby, the guy came back. They was like, "Oh, we only need about 3,000 people for this little battle. This ain't gonna be nothing. Y'all seen what God just did?" And they got there and got whooped on. They ran the Israelites out of there. 36 of them died. And Joshua, you know what Joshua did though? What I love about him is when something went wrong, he put his face on the ground. He went to God and said, "God, what just happened? You told us to go and conquer these cities, and we just lost 36 people. What just happened?" And God is like, "Get up, dude. Like, there's somebody done did something, and you ain't even noticed." Like, and of course, it's one person done ruined his whole family life because he decided to take some possessions. He did. Why? Have you seen what God's been doing for you all, and you want to take some material stuff? Are you want to? So you literally got your whole family murked over items. And not only were they rocked to sleep, his whole family and the animals, honey, they got they grabbed his donkeys. Acon donkeys was gone. The daughters, the kids, everybody that's attached to him died. And after they rocked him to sleep, they cremated them. Yes, sir. He said, But you would think that after they done walked with God this whole time, because it took 40 years, And God already done got rid of all their mamas and daddies and grandpas and granddaddies. That God don't play. But they play. They faith around and found out that God don't play, and it sucks because it took one person to ruin his whole family line. I pray that's not you. I pray that you are watching the people that surround you, that you're surrounding yourself with people who will not cause you to fall after God gave you a good victory. You gotta keep your circle clean. Watch who you have around. Watch who you show your victory to. Watch who you tell what God done did for you. Cause it could be that one person who gonna hate on you, who gonna get you in trouble. So watch the company you keep because it could be detrimental to your life. But after that minor setback, there was a major comeback, honey. When I tell you God don't play about how he get the job done. So when they went back to Ai to fight him, they took 30,000 this time. They said, okay, they ain't finna do that to us. But God had them set up an ambush. So while I was out there, theirs was like, oh yeah, we're gonna act like we're gonna run back and act like we don't know what's going on. So I was like, oh yeah, we whipping on them. They running from us. Baby, I turned around and they city was on fire. City was on fire. They like, wait a minute, what's going on? You know, the best gameplay. God created NFL plays. Don't believe the hype. People done God set this ambush up so cold. Like the special ops came in and set the whole city on fire. The whole city. And at the end of the day, I was stuck in the middle. They came from the city to meet the other group that was already turned around because I thought they was whooping them. And Israel turned around like, wait a minute, joke's on you. Now they're in the middle like a double stuffed Oreo and goodbye Ai. Nice knowing you. But however, again, it's like a roller coaster. I don't know how y'all don't like reading the Bible. It's a roller coaster. So then after that, again, we got these jokers coming. And I guess, I don't know if they were just on a high, the Israelites. Josh was on a high. He had to be because it was time to start taking cities. And one city came and was like, we're your neighbors. Well, no, they said they weren't neighbors. They brought some old bread, old stale bread, talk about we are far away and blah, 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 and make a covenant with us. We heard about what your God is doing and what he did to all these kings. Make a covenant with us. And Joshua and I'm like, yeah, this old bread. I don't know if they... Josh slipped because he did not go to God. He did not ask God, hey, did we make a covenant with them? How do we know them? Blah, blah, blah. He didn't do none of that. He just was like, all right, we make a covenant to find out them jokers lied. Them jokers are 3 days away. Now, I don't know, maybe 3 days wasn't a long time back then. I can imagine walking 3 days to find another city. To me, that's a far away distance, but for God, it was not. He said, you didn't even come to me and ask me. Now you're in covenant with these people and you can't do nothing to them. So they made them slaves. Yep, they are slaves. They were the woodcutters and the water bringers. But in the midst of these slaves, look, somebody heard that they was friends with the Israelites and was like, we coming for you. Catch us outside. We want y'all. Oh, y'all gonna be friends with our enemies? Well, we're gonna fight you. And you know what they... Look, them cowards, them smart cowards ran to Josh and said, hey, friend, we got people on our tails. We need you to come through. And when I tell you, Josh and them was like, okay, we're coming. And they came through, honey. They came through for the battle. Josh and them gathered his army. And not only when God told them, don't be afraid. Not one of them shall stand against you. Man, to have a friend who believe in the Lord. What I'm telling you, it's important to have friends who believe in it's who is on your battlefield. Y'all heard me say it before. So in the midst of all these battles, God was whooping on everybody. Somebody was trying to run, and God was throwing down large hailstones on them. I couldn't imagine being smashed by a big piece of ice. Like, are you serious? But hey, when I tell y'all I love Joshua, y'all got to get in y'all word. I cannot wait to give y'all the next set of stories that I'm learning, because Joshua is so good, and it's so It's like a whole nother story. But have a good day.